So I wanted to talk today about using your spectrum analyzer to look at the exact same signal several different ways and get different information from that signal, and using some of the features of your spectrum analyzer you might not have done before. There's a great application note that this is one that's marked Agilent. I don't know how old it is. Application note 150-1. You can find it online. I'll see if I can remember to put a link down below. But if you search on 150.1 or -1, you should be able to find this. And it goes through using your spectrum analyzer to look at amplitude and frequency modulation. And it gives a bunch of equations and different ways to set up your spectrum analyzer. Now, all spectrum analyzers are basically the same. So if you learn on one spectrum analyzer, it should be very, very similar to another spectrum analyzer. So I know people are going to give me comments. Can't you do the same thing with a tiny assay? And while I could, it's very difficult to photograph and very, very slow. So it's better for me to teach you on a high-end spectrum analyzer. But all of the things that you learn on one, you'll be able to use on another. So don't worry about that. All right. So we're going to talk today about amplitude modulation. Okay, so I'm going to be generating an amplitude modulation, and this is what you're probably familiar with looking at on a oscilloscope. Okay, this is not a spectrum analyzer, this is an oscilloscope. So we have a carrier, which is the wigglies here, and then we have this kind of waves that go back and forth, and that's the modulation. So the amplitude of the signal is modulated up and down. It's like a roller coaster. It goes up and then down, up and then down. That's the modulation. The slow roll is the modulation, and the fast ones, or frequency, is the carrier. Let me turn off the actual modulation. And this is a carrier. We have basically just a sine wave, right? And then if we add modulation to that, then that's the up and down stuff. Okay. All right. Now, how much we modulate, the percent modulation. Okay. This is 100% modulation. We go, oops, I've gone a little bit too far. We've gone all the way up, and then we've gone all the way down, okay? And then if we go to 50% modulation, we go halfway. And if we do 10% modulation, we're only going, my oscilloscope's not triggering right, but we're only doing a little bit. So the depth of modulation, the depth of these crests and troughs, that is the modulation, okay? So here's 50%, 40%, 50%. It's hard to trigger on these things. 80%, 90%, and there we go. 100% goes all the way down to the, goes all the way down and then goes all the way back up. So that's 100% AM modulation. All right, so let's go ahead and look at AM modulation on a spectrum analyzer. Okay, I've bumped up the frequency to 7 megahertz, so we can't see the little inside wigglies, but we do still see the big outside wigglies, okay? So the carrier is at 7 megahertz, and the modulation is at 1 kilohertz, okay? So that's what we're going to be looking at on the spectrum analyzer, okay? Okay, so on the spectrum analyzer, we're getting a graph of frequency versus amplitude. And I have the center set to 7 megahertz, so our 7 megahertz shows up right here in the center. And then our AM modulation are these two sidebands, and then this little extra one over here that's the quality of our modulation. We're getting a little bit of harmonic there, okay? And so this is really what we want to see, the center and these two spikes. That is the AM modulation. Now you're saying, well, we had 50% modulation, and then we had 100% modulation. What percent modulation is this? It looks like it's only maybe 10% modulation. The carriers here, the peaks of the modulation are only a little bit down. Well, where do these come from? These come from the carrier minus the modulation, the carrier plus the modulation. That's why we get two of them. But still, those other ones should be, say, half of what they were. We saw that on the oscilloscope. Well, in fact, this is 100% modulation, okay? And let's go to 50% modulation. You can see what that looks like. So did it change much? Oh, it changed a little bit. They went down, but gosh, again, it's instead of 100% modulation, we expected all three to be the same at 100% modulation, and they weren't. And now it's 50% modulation, and they're not at the 50% point. What's going on? Well, you have to remember that spectrum analyzers measure power. This is dBms, dB milliwatts, okay? And we're also looking at logarithmic things. We're plotting things in logarithms. So the oscilloscope is plotting things in linear space, and this is plotting them in log space, okay? So what if we actually want to see linear space on a spectrum analyzer? Can we do that? Well, yes, we can. Okay, this is 100% modulation, and we can see our two carriers. Let's see if we can't plot this in a linear mode, okay? Where we're all the way up and all the way down and all the way up and all the way down on the oscilloscope, okay? Remember, that's what we're looking at on the oscilloscope. So 100% modulation. So let's go to amplitude. We will go to linear. It's a scale type logarithmic and linear, and there is our linear plot. It automatically changed our units to volts because dB watts or dB milliwatts are power. They're the square of the voltage, not the voltage. And so it changed our units to voltage. We can do a peak search, and we can do marker to reference level. So we can bring it all the way to the top. So now our scale here is 0 to 100%, and we can see that our two carriers are exactly at 50%. Remember, they were really next to it in the logarithmic mode. We can go back to that. We can set logarithmic. You can see that they're very, very close in logarithmic mode. But when we go to linear mode, they're at 50%. Well, we're 100% modulation. Why aren't they 100? Well, you can see here that this is the carrier. The carrier gets to go this big, but the modulation only goes this big. Okay, the modulation is half of the carrier, and that's why the voltages of the modulation end up being half. All right, and that's why we see them at the 50% mark here. Okay, so let's change our modulation to 50%. Okay, now they're way down here. Where are they? Well, they're at 25% because it's half of a half, right? They're at 25%. So you can see modulation maybe makes more sense when you're doing it in linear mode if you're not used to it yet. Oops, I'm changing the power, not the level. There we go. We'll go back to 100% modulation. So here's our 100% modulation. All right. So there's one way to take a look at the exact same signal in two different ways. One in a logarithmic power setting and one in a linear voltage setting. All the same signal, but looking at it in two different ways. Okay. Okay, now I want to show one last way to take a look at a signal with a spectrum analyzer, a third way of looking at the exact same signal. So I've hit preset, so we're going to start from ground zero. We're going to do a frequency. We know we're at 7 megahertz, and there is our carrier bouncing up and down. All right. We can do something called span, zero span. So span sets how wide of a frequency range we have. If we set a frequency range to 0, so there's no frequency range, that's called zero span. Now our signal is just whacking up and down. What does that mean? It's like we've turned it into a radio. We've set it right at one frequency, and now we're just displaying the amplitude. And we're displaying the amplitude versus time. So our spectrum analyzer, instead of this being frequency, this is now time. It's turned it into an oscilloscope, okay? And because it's an oscilloscope, we need to adjust the vertical and the horizontal to see a good picture, okay? We can do that by amplitude to change this. But there's a button here on the spectrum analyzer called sweep, okay? You generally never ever touch the sweep button when you're in spectrum analyzer mode, but when you're in zero span mode, then you go into sweep. And sweep allows you to set the horizontal sweep of the oscilloscope, okay? So we're gonna zoom way out. All right, I'm slowing it down so I can see things. And yeah, so there we go. Okay, it's kind of bouncing around. So now we can kind of see it's going up and down and up and down. That's the carrier, but it's not triggering. So remember, with oscilloscopes, you need to set triggering. Well, there is a trigger button. We're going to set trigger, and the only time you use triggering is with the zero span stuff. So there's free run mode, and we're going to set it to video trigger. What does video trigger mean? Video is this signal. It's an old term from his history, and they call the actual signal the video. Okay, and so we are going to be able to set the trigger level, and there it gives us a line, and you can see that it's just like a trigger line on an oscilloscope. So now we're actually triggering on it, and you can say, okay, there's our modulation, but what units are we displaying? Okay, well, we are still in log power. And oscilloscopes measure in volts, so we need to go back to amplitude. We need to change it back to linear. Now it's starting to look like a sine wave, but we need to make it big. So we need to adjust the vertical gain of our spectrum, basically our oscilloscope. So we are going to change amplitude, and there we go. All right. So and we can change our trigger level a little bit to make it look nice. All right. So we have used the spectrum analyzer to look at the exact same signal 3 different ways. One was power, which is the way that spectrum analyzers normally operate. You can actually look in linear units, which might give you some insight, or maybe allow you to see smaller details sometimes also. We've looked at that. And then we've done the zero span stuff. Zero span basically turns it into an oscilloscope, and you can actually look at that modulated signal. Now, when you're in zero span, you can actually also listen to that signal. A lot of spectrum analyzers actually have a volume knob on the front of the instrument, and it has a little speaker inside, and you can turn up that volume and you can listen to this modulation. It will actually play on the speaker. This spectrum analyzer actually has an earphone jack on it. The tiny IMSAI Ultra now has a microphone, a headphone jack on it. This is a headphone jack. But this one actually has demodulation built in. So if you have a tiny IMSAI Ultra, it only does AM demodulation. This one allows you to do AM and FM. Now, back in the old days, you could do what was called slope detection of FM. This actually has an FM demodulator in it. So there's actually a button on the front here called demod, and you can turn it on. You can turn it on to AM or turn it on to FM, and you can actually listen to that signal, and you can turn the earphone port on and off and change the volume. All right. Okay, that was a quick lesson. I hope it didn't confuse you too much. But again, using your spectrum analyzer in different ways. I encourage you to try the different modes that spectrum analyzers have, and I also encourage you to take a look at the same signal. If you have an oscilloscope and maybe you have a tiny IMSAI or something, look at the two and kind of get yourself comfortable of what does a signal look like in time domain and what does the spectrum analyzer look like in frequency domain. And if you have a very, very fancy oscilloscope, it may have an FFT, and you can actually use the oscilloscope to also look at things in the frequency domain. So yeah, there's lots to do, lots to play with, lots to learn.